It's the NFL on EA Sports, and our focus is on the Lions' veteran quarterback. He got the QB not once, but twice last week with a pair of interceptions. It's the Lions and the Commanders just ahead on EA Sports.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at our two quarterbacks in this one, it's really a good matchup when you boil it down. Carson Wentz of the Commanders, Jared Goff of the Lions.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise, and that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Detroit gets set to go on offense, and it will be the 7th-year pro out of Cal, Jared Goff, leading the attack in his 2nd season as a Lion.
Certainly a different set of circumstances awaited Jared Goff in Detroit last season after his trade from Los Angeles. He made what he could out of them and managed 3 wins on a rebuilding Lions team. They should improve this year behind Goff after an offseason where they made considerable investments in order to try and improve this ball club.
Opening play, and Goff wants to pass it. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Play action. It's Goff. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
That's their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
There's no doubt that Curtis Samuel and Washington would both welcome a redo at his first year there. Injuries kept him to less than 100 snaps across 5 games. Everyone's hoping a return to health gets him back on track, but he's making a push for his first 1,000-yard season in Carolina. That catch there, good for a 1st down.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw complete there to Thomas.
Complete to Logan Thomas. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Wentz's pass.
Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells the offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas. Let's keep it going.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago. Antonio Gibson with it. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago.
16 carries, 69 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out with the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage from every carry he receives this week.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lionsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
It's caught inside the 25.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
And from where we sit, if you had told me that that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Goff, a handoff here to Swift.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Goff. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Roughing the passer. Defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Goff now looking to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd down and goal. Goff to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. DJ Chark. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Gibson here running out of the gun.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Wentz. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Wentz. Thomas. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into a little lackadaisical because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 42. Following the fumble recovery, Goff. And this one is incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Goff. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. On 2nd and 11 now. Goff. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hockenson.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Now it's Goff off the bootleg. The open man is Shark. It's complete.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line.
And forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shocked the D and ripped off a pretty big play.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Now Goff on 1st down.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
Flash those fast feet, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line as he can't get any closer to the end zone. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 4th down, Goff to the sidelines, and Detroit has Riley Patterson out there for the field goal.
From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up.
They run the toss now with Gibson.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get him done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Aiden Hutchinson
brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career.
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Forced out to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Swift going to try up the middle.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. From the gun, here's Goff. Flushed out right. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
and it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
That's on the tackle, Penei Sewell.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll dump that off to Gibson, complete.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. 3rd and 7 now. Now Wentz.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw.
Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Now Wentz again.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wentz.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To throw, it's Wentz.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson.
5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Trying to power it in with Arma. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Let's give credit to the defense. They got plenty of bodies to the point of attack and stop the run. But I just wonder if the offensive line let down a little bit, knowing that the big guy was getting the ball, and they just expected him to pick up a first.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. 4 yards the pickup. First down. Now Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. To the air again. Goff. And Shark hauls it in. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. Flush to his right. Got his man, it's Williams. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Goff on first down.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
2nd and 14.
Again, Goff.
And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. The 20. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first two quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And here comes Danny Johnson now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Aiden Hutchinson in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. So 2 sacks for the rookie, definitely making an impact here in year 1.
And in a ton of different ways, because rushing the passer, that was supposed to be a skill that he was developing. Looks to me like he's figured it out already.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Wentz is throw into the hands of McLaurin.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
Bulldozes past him. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Holding. Offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
On the draw, it's Gibson.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. To throw is Wentz.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A give up the middle to Gibson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Romeo Okwara shooting it there, dropping it for the sack.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they're spotted. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
On 1st and 10, Goff.
And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Goff now looking to throw.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
And the Washington offense going back to work. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Once again here on 2nd and 10.
This pass hauled in by Dotson.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
Got an open man, finds Gibson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
straight ahead, Gibson.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
On second down, here's Gibson again.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Levi Onwuzurike charging in and finishing off the sack.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Here's Tress Way now as he's on to punt for Washington. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 14-yard line.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
From the 16, Goff. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10.
Gone.
That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage, put the ball right on him.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Here's a handoff to Swift. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. The Lions on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now it's gone. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Aiden Hutchinson
able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So, Charles, I mean, this is just becoming an exhibition now on how to rush the passer.
Yeah, and I can't help but laugh a little bit because I'm enjoying what we're watching. This is coming from a guy who was in college just a year ago, and we keep harping on their evaluation. They saw not just a guy who could rush the passer, but could rush the passer well, and that's why they took him as high as they did.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He's gonna float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
I would say just add that one to the total of big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz.
Going right back to Dotson.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
Now Wentz again.
That's out to the flat for Gibson.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. Sly able to put this one through.
And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Back to throw, Goff. Over the middle, hauled in by Sharp. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Goff linking up with Sharp for a Lions first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
This is Swift on the counter.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 48-yard line.
Goff a handoff here to Swift.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. On
On second down, Swift.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff.
Dancing to his left.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
The Washington offense back out there. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Now Wentz. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On 2nd and 9, Wentz, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run with Gibson. And this is going to be a Commander's 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wentz.
Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Wentz going to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. Got his target, Samuel.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
1st down, Washington.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 17-yard line.
Throw right side taken in by Gibson.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy sideline, right?
Sammy sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz.
Back to Gibson and another catch for him. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now, here's a look for the...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Picked off by Amani Oruwariye. And the Lions are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
On the handoff, this is Swift.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts
as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here comes Swift.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away.
Johnson on the return.
It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Carson Wentz in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 45 seconds remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Wentz going to go on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Goff with a kneel down here, and that should put a conclusion to this one. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire 2nd half, but their 1st half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the 1st half, You think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Detroit, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try again next week at home